Coming up, this summer's museum fire is long gone, but is the scar still posing a danger to Flagstaff?
Plus, just in time for Halloween, a local high school is putting on a thrilling musical. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Cristiana Ramos.
And I'm Chelsea Parker. Thanks for tuning in. It's been months since the museum fire burned nearly 2,000 acres of prime hiking land just north of Flagstaff.
And even though the flames are out, the burn scar presented real danger of severe floods. We have an update on the situation as winter approaches.
Just 1 mile north of Flagstaff, the museum fire burned aggressively, leaving behind a burn scar with a tough crust that tends to carry rather than absorb runoff.
Typical part of a wildfire is after the wildfire is out is the flash flooding potential, and basically all the vegetation is burned up. So instead of the soil absorbing moisture from thunderstorms, so all that water isn't absorbed into the earth, it actually runs off, it runs downhill.
The fire started in late July and lasted for about 3 weeks during the monsoon season. Hundreds of thousands of sandbags were prepared and barriers and signs were put up along adjacent neighborhoods as a precaution for good reason.
Comparatively speaking, you see the museum fire scar. That's pretty small relative to the other fires, right? But the reason it's a big deal is because the population that's affected, it's the second most populous area in northern Arizona.
But luckily for Flagstaff, the monsoon season turned out to be one of the driest on record. And Merriman says as of right now, the community shouldn't be overly worried about the upcoming winter season.
Depending on the recovery of the vegetation on the museum burn scar, we're not really concerned about it going into the winter just because it'll be in the form of snow and not heavy rain. The rates are not there. The rainfall rates, the snowfall rates just aren't there.
Even so, the National Weather Service says it will be closely monitoring the situation. Chelsea Parker, NAZ Today.
The seasonal parking ordinance goes into effect in Flagstaff on Friday. But as NAZ Today's Claire Sage tells us, you probably won't get a ticket for breaking the rules.
As temperatures drop, the city is preparing for the upcoming snowy weather with the seasonal parking ordinance.
Basically what that entails is no on-street parking from midnight to 7 a.m., 7 days a week.
The city says the parking ban is necessary so snowplows can effectively clear the roads.
A lot of times people don't understand that if it's not snowing, they can park on the street. Well, that's not the case. The ordinance is in effect whether snowing or not.
Not following the policy may, or rather might, result in a citation or your vehicle being towed. But in fact, that's not very likely to happen.
I think it was minimal. I would say less than 20 times. But we did have heavy snowstorms last year. But honestly, we try and get people to move their vehicles before we have to take enforcement and tow them.
If you're unfortunate enough to receive a citation, it will set you back $48. Towing will cost even more. But Hernandez says this is a last resort.
Locating them, but we always try and give them an opportunity to move their vehicle before we have to tow it.
While towing is the worst case scenario, and citations are also relatively uncommon, Hernandez says that doesn't mean you should ignore the law.
And when we don't have opportunities to clear the roadway, then it creates a hazard for everyone who has to drive on those streets.
In other words, it's the right thing to do. Claire Sage, NAZ Today.
The restrictions go in effect on Friday and last until April 1st, 2020. Residents cannot park on city roads from midnight until 7 a.m. and downtown from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m.
A cold case in Yavapai County has been solved thanks to DNA. Sheriff's detectives have identified the skeletal remains of then 20-year-old Anthony Sanchez, whose remains were found in 2009. Sanchez was originally reported missing in late 2007 following contact with Prescott police officers. At that time, family members called authorities with concerns about his mental health. That's when Sanchez fled from his home and went missing. Cold case detectives were able to make a positive identification this month.
And a search is underway in eastern Arizona for 73-year-old Fire District Fire Chief Gary Morris of Strawberry, Arizona. Gila County Sheriff's Office says Maurice began his hike on the Arizona Trail in the Mazatl Wilderness, which is southwest of Payson. Maurice is also a member of the Tonto Rim Search and Rescue Team. He was reported missing after he was overdue in calling for a ride after the completion of a solo hike. If you have any information, you can contact the Gila County Sheriff's Police.
One of the treasures of Flagstaff is the collection of historic homes in the downtown area, adding both charm and character.
And one local group has been instrumental in making sure these homes will be around for years to come. NAZ Today's Kwana Arnold has more on the work of the Townsite Historic Trust.
Flagstaff started with just 360 acres for housing on land granted by the 50th Congress. Many of the houses built in the original town site still stand today. Duffy Westliner, founder of Townsite Community Land Trust, wants to protect these homes and make sure they remain affordable.
I just realized that these houses are small and should be affordable. This is where everybody lived before, even people who didn't make a lot of money, the teachers, they all lived there, the community, the service workers, everybody lived in these historic neighborhoods who lived in Flagstaff.
Here's how the trust works. Buyers can purchase the home, but the land remains with the trust. The arrangement keeps the price of the home down and ensures that they will not be torn down. Westliner says it's a community effort.
And we also need the community to step up and do this work because it's not what developers do. Developers are happy to tear things down and build things because that's their business. That's their business model. I'm not criticizing them. But if we want to preserve Flagstaff's history, the community needs to step up to do it.
The plan seems to be popular with home buyers, like Christine Graham.
Well, I would recommend it, period. It's a great model to buy your first home or even your second or third.
The trust is fighting an uphill battle. Westliner says Flagstaff is struggling to hold on to its history.
Many people are disturbed by what's happening in Flagstaff with this really fast growth that's much bigger than what we used to have in our historic areas, and we're losing our character. If we replace everything, we have no soul left.
If you are renting or own a home that is considered historic, contact the Townsite Community Land Trust at townsiteclt@gmail.com or visit their website at www.townsiteclt.org. Kwana Arnold, NAZ Today.
Efforts are underway to ask Arizona voters to make sweeping changes in election laws. The group Arizonians for Fair Elections is gathering signatures for a ballot initiative that would create automatic voter registration. The group says it wants to reduce the influence of corporations and wealthy donors. Supporters must collect nearly 240,000 signatures by July to get the issue on the 2020 ballot. And Coconino High School's drama club is taking a dark turn for Halloween, producing Heathers, the musical. It's a dark comedy based on the 1988 film of the same name. NAZ Today's Christian Ayala takes a look.
The play follows the story of Heather, Heather, and Heather, the three most popular girls in all of Ohio. Oh, and Veronica Sawyer, a misfit teen who rejects their evil regime for a new boyfriend, JD.
I think it's a really interesting play to just be put on in Flagstaff because most of the shows that we put on are usually Disney or like the classics, so they don't really dig deep into true, like very present issues, and this one definitely does.
Although cast members are excited about the production, producers warn that some themes may not be appropriate for all audiences.
We incorporate a lot of the Broadway production, and then some of the more like scandalous scenes, we switched it out into little parts from like the high school version to kind of mellow it down. That's the curse of popularity. Everyone here has made the experience much more fun, even though it is kind of a risque show. You know, we're doing it well, we're doing it tastefully.
The school picked Heathers to spotlight the current fear of violence in schools and to hopefully educate and prevent catastrophes in the future.
Maybe even for like parents and kids to really see the similarities and see how bullying and stuff like that can affect kids in high school.
The play will premiere Friday at 7 p.m. Tickets are $5 for students and seniors and $10 for adults.
To be fair, there actually is a reason that we chose to do it, and if you want to know the reason, check out our Facebook page, check out our website, or come see the show and you'll figure out why. It's just Flagstaff Arts, Music, and Education.
Christian Ayala, NAZ Today.
Coming up, we have another pet hoping to find a home in this week's Pet of the Week. Stay with us.
Good evening. It is Halloween Eve. As you can see, I am a scarecrow. Not much to say for today, except it was really cold and it will continue to be cold tomorrow. But as it is Halloween Eve, I want to see your costumes. Go ahead and tweet us at naztoday.com, and I will tell you more about that trick-or-treating forecast coming up. Stay with us.
That's a beautiful sound, isn't it? Brand new Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac keys. They could be yours today for less than you ever expected, because the factory said, time's up. Clear out all remaining 2019s now for a limited time. Get supplier pricing on most new 2019 Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs. What is supplier pricing? You pay below factory invoice on all remaining 2019 Chevys in stock. That's less than Terry Markson Chevrolet pays from the factory. Plus, get no payments for 90 days. Drive worry-free till January 2020. Don't miss your chance to pay under factory invoice during Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac's supplier pricing sales event.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Well, with the weather getting a bit chiller outside, it's always nice to have a friend to cuddle with.
Especially when that friend is cute and furry. Joy Johnson is here live in the studio to tell us about this week's Pet of the Week. Joy?
Today we have a hyperactive kitten who loves to play with that special someone who will love to take the time to spoil him with love and affection.
Sam is a 5-month-old domestic short-haired kitten that loves having fun and getting cozy in this weather.
Loves to play, as you can tell. Very lovable and affectionate. He likes to climb shoulders and just snuggle right up here.
Sam has been in the Humane Association's care for a few months, but is now healthy and ready to find the right home for him.
We got him in July. He came in with a pretty bad respiratory infection, so we've been taking care of him and nursing him back to health, and he actually just became available for adoption not that long ago.
He is a very easygoing and loving kitten that would be the perfect addition to anyone's family.
He's very affectionate with people. I think he does get along with cats. He just wants to play. The dogs I'm not 100% on, but with people, he's great. He plays with everything. You give him a toy, this cat will play for hours probably, huh? But mostly he just likes to be pet and rubbed down and just loved. So he'd be a great cat for a family home.
If you're interested in adopting Sam or any other animals at the Humane Association, stop in or visit coconinohumane.org. Joy Johnson, NAZ Today.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
I'm Rudy Tempesta. I'm 92 years old. I fought in World War II. Then I came home, worked for the post office for 70 years. I've been getting Meals on Wheels, and I enjoy it. The most important thing about Meals on Wheels is you meet the people, which to me is fantastic. You need people to keep your brain moving. That's what life is about. It's love and having a conversation with people.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Tonight's NAZ Today weather is brought to you in part by Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac in Flagstaff.
Welcome back. Student forecaster Aaron Vidito here. I am no longer a scarecrow, I know. Disappointing, but I am scary in my own right. Now, as it is the day before Halloween, I thought it'd be appropriate to talk about the trick-or-treat forecast for tomorrow. Trick-or-treating approximately 7 o'clock tomorrow, so those are the temperatures we got. Flagstaff, 26 degrees. Sedona, a little warmer at 38. Tuba City, I might recommend staying home, 17 degrees. It's a little chilly for me, as is 26, honestly, unless you got that trick-or-treating done today at Flag High. I know they did the indoor trick-or-treating event. But what I really want to talk about right now is wind chill. This time of year is, as you probably felt today, pretty dangerous with wind. I personally felt like I had nails coming into my skull. Average body temperature is about 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. And once you get around 95 degrees Fahrenheit, you get hypothermia. And trust me, that is not fun for anybody. And the thing about wind is it actually drains your body heat faster. Studying biology, I can tell you the whole process, but I'm going to save you some time and just say that it's not fun. A windbreaker definitely recommended for tonight, maybe for tomorrow. We only have some light winds, but still really good to be prepared. Looking at Flagstaff, currently we have 29 degrees, clear skies, and a slight wind from the east at 16 miles per hour. So once again, with that wind chill is going to especially affect temperatures this time of year. With these temperatures, it's not fun at all, unless you're into that, but I'm not into the cold. High of 34 degrees today, a low of 15 degrees, 15 being kind of in between our average and our record low, average of 28. I don't like that. Negative 2 degrees for a record low. And if you're paying special attention to our show yesterday, you'll realize our record low also from 1971. So if time travel is ever invented, avoid 1971 in Flagstaff at all costs. And a high of 72 degrees in 1934, a little better. Actually, it's pretty close to our high in Phoenix, and unfortunately no precipitation for today, average of 18.11. Still below average, which is pretty sad. And we were talking about Phoenix. So let's talk about Phoenix at 70 degrees, about our record temperature. So if you want to experience life in the 1900s, there you go. 42 in Sedona, 52 in Prescott, 45 in Payson, 40 in Page. As you can see, a trend of as you go more north, it gets more cold. As you go more south, it gets warm. That's because the equator is on the south. So of course, warm temperatures. Tonight, a nice temperate 10 degrees. I say that sarcastically, but it also means I get to sleep next to a space heater, light all my fall scented candles. Really excited for that. Clear skies, some light wind, and sunset, 5:34 degrees. Missed it already if you haven't been outside for a while like me. And of course, it's going to be a little colder without that cloud cover, because the clouds actually trap the heat in the atmosphere, which is why we're getting colder temperatures. 47 degrees for a high tomorrow with a light morning breeze and a sunrise at 6:46 a.m., which is pretty early or late, depending on how you look at it. Forecast temperatures for tomorrow, 62 degrees in Sedona, 77 in Phoenix. Is actually getting warmer, you see, because 47 in Page, 61 in Payson. Still cold, but not as cold as today. Now let's look at our 5-day forecast, because look at that. Halloween tomorrow. I even put a nice little skull up there. It's going to be 47 degrees, low of 17. which is below freezing, so I don't like it. 57 degrees Friday, 58 on Saturday, and then right back up to the 60s for Sunday and Monday. So it's going to be cold, and I apologize to our viewers. Journalism's integrity. I said I liked the cold yesterday. I changed my mind after today.
Yes, it was painfully cold
It was
today.
painful.
And now you can't wear your hot nurse outfit, Aaron.
Oh, I know.
Unfortunately,
I was
not.
looking forward to that.
It's going to be really cold tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's hot in sports. We had rivalry week, right,
Yes.
Jasmine? Yeah?
Yes. So we had the Coconino Panthers against Flagstaff High, and we'll have that update after the break.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 88 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter, Jasmine Navarrete. The Flag High girls volleyball team is #1 in the conference, but they faced their rivals, the Coconino Panthers, last night and lost. This was a great way for the Panthers to end their season, and their head coach, Serena Wallace, couldn't be happier.
So the biggest thing is we're home on Thursday, which is awesome. This win put us there. And really, I mean, confidence as usual. It's a booster to beat Flag High. I don't think we've won against Flag High for 5 years, so this is huge.
Now, moving on to the football field. The Coconino Panthers have finally lost their winning streak. This team has been undefeated since the start of the season with a record of 8-0, but the Cactus Cobras ended their momentum, 53-14. The Panthers are still #1 in the conference and will be closing out their season against the Flagstaff Eagles at 7:30 p.m. Friday at the Sky Dome. Will the Coconino Panthers end their season with a win, or will the Eagles fly above them? Now let's dive right into the pool. NAU's swim team is looking good this season. Swimmers Neve McDowell and Haley Mayhew are leading the team, and head coach Andy Johns said the girls are off to another WAC tournament run.
To win another Western Athletic Conference Championship, qualify some individuals for NC2As, and keep being leaders on campus in community service and in academics, and those are our goals.
Another team hoping to win the Big Sky Conference is the NAU men's basketball squad. The Lumberjacks are preparing for this season. They defeated Embry-Riddle in an exhibition game on Monday night, and junior Bernie Andre says he's taking the initiative with defense.
I have the same role as last year. I mean, inside, outside, rebound the ball, push the ball, step out, shoot threes. I kind of have the same. I'm taking more of a role with defense and passing the ball much more this year too. So I kind of got the same role, but just adding a few things to it.
NAU football won this past homecoming game against Portland State. The Lumberjacks defeated Portland in the last 8 seconds of the game. The game was close, but junior kicker Luis Aguilar made the game-winning field goal and put the Lumberjacks on top 31-29.
Every time I go out there, you want to be 100% confident. You always have no doubt that you're going to make it. You're going to trust your holder, your snapper, so I had no doubt.
Aguilar trusted his training, and it paid off. He had his first game winner, and his emotions were all over the place. To him, it was his best performance for NAU.
It was really exciting. Definitely, well, my first game winner, and it was really fun. Definitely one of the best moments here at NAU, and it was just exciting just to see, your hard work pay off, especially in these moments. These are the moments kickers live for, that they dream about. So it was just really exciting, and it was a good ending to homecoming.
Well, Jasmine, I really like that you gave Luis Aguilar credit, because I think for just that game in general, a lot of people were, giving props to Case. It's his record-breaking year. But Luis Aguilar
has had an exceptional year. He's already had his career high with the 57-yard field goal. So we're excited to see where we go.
Well, thank you for that. We'll have another look at weather after the break.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Is your family in need of more quality time together?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Nature is best enjoyed together. So bring the whole family to discover all the bonding and stress-reducing benefits parks and forests have to offer. Visit discovertheforest.org and trade in phone time for family time.
Birds, squirrels, chipmunks, grass, worms, bugs, trees, rocks, and other objects in nature cannot talk. If you'd like to have a conversation while visiting nature, you will need to bring humans along. We strongly recommend starting with your family.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
Well, a pretty cold, spooky season for this week and a cold week following. Very cold.
Well, speaking of, in celebration of spooky season in Washington, D.C., there's the annual 17th Street High Heel Race in Washington. Close to 3,000 people signed up. 17th Street transformed into a colorful wonderland Tuesday night with the help from the mayor's office. Several people wore creative and glamorous costumes, some which featured political statements.
Well, that's pretty cool. I can barely walk in heels. I don't think I would be able to run in.
I can barely walk in flats, so I mean, that's ahead of me already.
I just don't run.
I feel that, especially in this weather. I was going to go for a jog this morning, and it was super cold, and I'm just like, you know what? No. But I always have an excuse,
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Don't forget to tune in for our Friday show. Have a great night.